former wrestling coach at Pierce High School. Boy, we saw those guys, and we still do at the state tournament all the time. He's been elected to the National Wrestling Hall of Fame in Stillwater, Oklahoma. I know Mark. I've written about him a couple times. A great guy. So that's a huge honor, a National Wrestling Hall of Fame induction coming up for Mark Jensen from Pierce. And in the Minnesota Hockey Coaches Association Hall of Fame, some great names here: Wally Chapman, Jeff Lindquist, and Mike Schwartz. They're going to be inducted into the Hockey Coaches Hall of Fame. Congratulations to Tim Knutson. He's the football coach at Maple Lake. Last week, he got his 100th career victory. He's been there for 19 years, taking them to state 4 times. That's a pretty good achievement. 100 wins in high school football. You don't play that many games every year. That's pretty good. How about this? Here's a note about a young coaching staff. I got a Twitter message from the JV volleyball coach at Goodridge Grigla. And if you don't know where Goodridge Grigla is, I don't trust you, because I know where that is. I've been there. So
of course you have.
Average, who hasn't been to Goodridge and Grigla? The average age of the coaching staff is 21.1 years old. The 7th grade, 8th grade, and C team coaches, or that's one coach. That's a 20-year-old coach, I believe. Maybe that's 3 coaches. I'm looking at my notes here. That may be 3 coaches. The JV coach is 21, and Caitlin Theraldson, she's the head coach. She's the seasoned veteran. She's 25 years old. She's the oldest of all the coaches there. So the average age is 21.1. That's amazing. And good for them. Good for these young coaches to get in there and do great work. And I want to give a big slap on the back to Chris Murphy. People might know him on Twitter as @CMurphs tweets. He's been covering prep sports at the Fargo Forum for, I think, 9 or 10 years.
Yep. A
good guy. He can give the needle. Boy, if he didn't give me the needle about shot clocks about 20 times a year, whenever that was being discussed, it was great. We went back and forth on that, but a heck of a guy. He has left the Fargo Forum, going back to his hometown of Chicago, going to do some work for the Chicago Tribune. And if Murph, if you're listening, you are aware there are no shot clocks in Illinois high school basketball. Good luck.
Yeah, he does great work. I follow him on Twitter, and he does give the needle. He absolutely does.
Yeah, he's a good dealer. Yeah, and a great writer, good reporter, great writer. That's a big loss up there at Fargo.
Absolutely. So a touching tribute, John. Tell me about this.
This is another Twitter item, Jim. Up at Ulen Hitterdal, another Northwest Minnesota school. They had a tragedy in June. A young athlete, a student named Olivia Mortensen, was killed in a vehicle crash. This was 3 months ago. And she was a 3-sport athlete, an honor student, played volleyball, basketball, and softball. Well, this is homecoming week at Ulen Hitterdal, and the students voted Olivia as homecoming queen 3 months after her death, which is pretty good. And I was looking at her Twitter page, and in fact found a photo of her that I added to when I tweeted about this. I put this picture of her on there, and the pinned tweet on her page says, "Appreciate all the time you have with the people you love. You never know how much time you have left with them." And she's gone now. And boy, just to vote her homecoming queen is pretty remarkable. And that tweet just has zipped around. I don't know how many hundreds of likes and retweets it's got, but that's pretty special. That tells you how great kids can be to do something like that. A great gesture for someone they lost.
Absolutely. And that's what I love about this show is we do get to some sweet spots in the sports world. It's not all about contracts or signing. Well, I'm not even going to get into everything that happens in the NFL every day or every week or every day.
We know.
Yeah, but this is fun. Tell me about a historic night in Underwood.
Yeah, Friday night game 4 for me this week. Is this week 4 already? Geez, I think it might be.
I'm sure it doesn't surprise me you've already lost count.
I've lost track. No, it's week 3. So I'm going up to Underwood for a very interesting football game. I've been to Underwood before. I know people there. I know Chuck Ross, the coach, a great traditional 9-man football program. This season, for the first time ever, they're playing 11-man football. So Friday night will be the first home 11-man football game they've ever played. And they're playing Roseau. And I was talking to Chuck on the phone the other day, and I said, he's been there, I think he told me 22 years. And I said, well, surely before 9-man football came on the scene, and I don't know the timing of that, I said, surely before that, Underwood played 11-man, right? Have you had football that long? And he said, we've had football a long time, but never 11-man till this year. They originally played 6-man football, which I have no concept of in Minnesota. And then 9-man when that started. So they've never played 11-man football. I'm trying to track down some historical information on that. How far back was 6-man football in Underwood, and how long did they play that? When did they go to 9-man? But here's another twist on this. So they played 9-man through last season. So starting with their final game last year, they lost to Verndale in a section championship game in 9-man. And now this year they've played 2 11-man games. So if you start from the last game from last year, that was a 9-man game. Season opener this year, they played a 1A team. Last week they played a 2A team. This week they're playing a 3A team. So in 4 consecutive games, they're going 9-man, 1A, 2A, 3A. I can't imagine that's ever happened before. And this really going to be fun. I mean, then they're 2-0. This is a good team. They've only got 28 kids on the varsity team. And I asked Chuck about the differences. When you move from 9-man to 11-man, he said, well, I got to find 2 more linemen. And that's basically what everybody says. If you're playing 9-man football, it's just like 11-man, but you remove the tackles. Mm-hmm. You remove two linemen on each side of the line. He said, and at a small school where there's only 28 kids, I can't imagine he found a couple of 270-pound kids to jump in there and play the line. They're probably 170 pounds. But like I said, they're 2-0. They moved up a class last week. They're moving up 2 classes this week. And from last season, they're moving up 3 classes this week. So wow. Roseau at Underwood Friday night. I can't imagine a better deal. Hopefully the weather's great. Get some of this rain cleared out. And some good Samaritan in Underwood has alerted me there will be a pregame tailgate party, and this is right off the little poster that was tweeted to me, featuring burgers, brats, chips, pop, and desserts. And if that doesn't take care of you pregame, burgers, brats, chips, pop, and desserts, with goodwill donations going to the Underwood Sports Boosters, boy, I am set for that. That's going to be fun.
Fantastic. And somebody bring them a nice soft pretzel as well.
I can find one somewhere. All right. You don't have them at the game, I can find a pretzel on the road. One other team I want to mention here, the football team from Dover, Eota. There's some teams in southeast Minnesota that lost a game. One school down there, and I don't remember which school, dropped varsity football this year, so several schools lost a game. So it's kind of an emergency deal. You try to find a team that has an opening. So the Eagles from Dover, Eota, are going to get on a bus at 1:45 on Friday and ride 3 hours deep into Wisconsin during Vikings-Packers week to go to the town of Edgar. I've never heard of Edgar, Wisconsin. It's a small town that plays really good football. I think they were in the championship game, the state championship game of one of the smaller classes in Wisconsin last year. So those boys are going to ride a bus 3 hours, play a football game in Edgar, Wisconsin, and get on the bus and get home well into the morning. So that's kind of the extent that some teams have to take. We thought district football solved a lot of these problems, and it did. We only had 1 0-week game this year. Sometimes we've had 4 or 5 or 8 of those. But this is a rare occurrence, and because of district football, no Minnesota teams, really had openings. Everybody's schedules are filled now, but they found a game. They have to, be on a bus for 6 hours to do it. But good luck to Dover Eota Friday night.
Good stuff. Let's thank Bitesquad, Bitesquad.com. Use the Bitesquad app. Upload your information. It makes ordering really easy to deliver to your house, your office, anywhere you happen to be, morning, noon, night, late night snacks, ice cream, whatever you want. They will bring it to you. Use the promo code TALKNORTH, get your first delivery fee waived, and just keep using it. Because once you use it, you will understand just how great a shape the food is when it arrives at your door. You don't have to park. You don't have to deal with traffic. You don't have to get reservations. You don't have to do dishes. They make life easy. Bitesquad.com. We appreciate their sponsorship. Let's go to Thank a Ref, one of our favorite built-in segments here.
Would love to thank our refs. I enjoyed handing pizzas to the football officials in Princeton the other night. This one began with a tweet from a farmer in Kansas. You can't make this up. So there's a tweet. It's a farmer from Kansas named Derek Sawyer, who also is a football official. He was behind the wheel. It looked like before he turned the key, he just shot a selfie of himself behind the wheel. He's got his stripes on and his football official's cap on. And he tweeted that picture, and this is what he wrote. I really should be in the combine picking corn, but I'm off to officiate a Frosh JV game tonight. Remember this, don't yell at the officials. It may be costing some of them a lot of money to make it possible for your kid to play. And that really got a lot of traffic on Twitter when I retweeted that. I imagine that's been retweeted all over the country, that here's this official who happens to be a farmer in Kansas who could be out picking corn, but he's doing a freshman JV game and just asking for a little bit of respect for the official. So that's a pretty strong and excellent message there.
Absolutely. Waiting for the unveiling.
Okay, we talked about last week the current John's Journal Toyota Camry. You mentioned it earlier, Jim. At this point, it's making the transformation from a beautiful white 2019 Camry to a graphically enhanced 2019 graphic Camry. It's at an undisclosed location. I dropped it off yesterday. A team of very talented people are putting the graphics on. I should have it back hopefully today or tomorrow. And once we've got it, I'm going to unveil the new look on Twitter. And this is the third in a series of Camrys provided by the wonderful people at Maplewood Toyota and the Upper Midwest Toyota dealers. We're just so fortunate they do this. They provide the car to the high school league for free. It's just basically a 3-year lease on each car. This is car number 3. We've had a blue one. We've had a red one. This one will not be blue or red. But it's going to be sharp looking, and it's not going to be my first wish was that it would be the same color as the state troopers cars, kind of that maroon, that kind of burgundy color, and that wasn't one of the options this year. But I wouldn't mind being confused with a law enforcement professional. That would be the first time and the only time. But it's going to be a sharp looking car. I can't wait to get it back. I'm driving I'm driving a brand new Corolla right now as the loaner, which is not a bad vehicle, but I'm loving these Camrys, and hopefully in the next day or two, we will unveil the new John's Journal Camry.
The great thing about it is John, when he's driving the branded Camry, can't sneak up on you.
I cannot. You will see me coming.
Absolutely.
And hopefully the car's back in my hands before I head to Underwood, because I know they got a special parking spot for it, and it'll be awesome. I can't wait to see it when it's done and get some pictures posted. Great stuff from John. Thanks again to Pizza Barn in Princeton and Bitesquad. Thanks to our producer, Brandon Morton. We'll be back next week with more good stuff from John. And again, check out his work at mshsl.org.